Hi everyone. Today I want to share my understanding of Descartes and Hume and Kant, like how they try to answer the question, how do we know what we know, and why Kant succeed in answering this question, and why Descartes and Hume failed. And so first, for Descartes, he has two dots. The first one is sensory perception. So everyone has sensory perceptions, including smell, taste, sight, touch, and hearing. These sensory perceptions change at a certain distance. And the other dot he has is that, like for dreams, he asks, is there any objective criterion to like distinguish what is dream and what is a reality? And the third dot is like the demon argument. So both algebra and geometry are more certain than physics and astronomy, because they are completely unrelated to specific things. Even in dreams, this knowledge remains true. However, in the formal knowledge of mathematics, Descartes still put forward his diabolical skepticism. He believes that we cannot rule out that the formal knowledge of mathematics may still be a demon that misleads our thinking. There is no doubt that this is a really crazy idea, but no one can completely say that it's not possible. After this wild doubt, what's left is the most real. That is, no matter how powerful the devil is, if I do not exist, he cannot deceive me. I may not have a body, but my mind determines the fact that I exist. This fact cannot be denied by any skeptic. And this method of skepticism become the core Descartes' theory of knowledge and the most important part of his philosophy. The influence of I think, therefore I am is the object of all subsequent philosophers' thinking, and the reason for its power is that it completely changed the original philosophical attitudes. And for a next person, Hume, we know that the scientific rationality is based on induction, and Hume's skepticism is known for rejecting induction. And this inductive principle of causality says that if every time you see A, you will see B, and then very likely that B will follow up when A happens next time. And the point of induction is that cause and fact occurs so many times that we believe that a causal relationship between A and B is inevitable or highly possible. So A and B, A will causes B, and B will follow up after A happens. And Hume believes that it doesn't matter how many times it happens. If this principle is true, then causal inference is valid. That is to say, in the development of science, we can use induction based on practical principles to obtain sufficient real possibilities. And if this principle is not true, then all inductive reasoning in science, from individual causes to general principles, is questionable. In addition, induction itself cannot be obtained from observation. Therefore, in order to justify the principle of induction, we must rely on the higher principles rather than experience. From this perspective, Hume proved that pure empiricism is not sufficient enough for science. And this skepticism leads us to admit that induction is a special logic principle which cannot be obtained from experience nor a purely logical reasoning in general. Above all, Hume's skepticism, while denying the principle of induction, makes science a work without absolute truth. And Hume's solution to the skeptical point of view is that he admits that beliefs are irrational because of our ignorance. And the last person, Kant, the paradox of empiricism is that while they understand the world in terms of ideas formed by the subjective mind, they also emphasize the objective power to understand society that is contradictory. And Kant's solution is criticism. Criticism means criticism means that knowledge is limited because of all objective knowledge we can grasp is limited by subjective cognitive abilities. And Kant has 5 features of there's 5 features of Kant's philosophy. In Kant's system of knowledge, he proposed 5 characteristics of philosophy. So first one is an external world is an object of sensation. Second, the power of our mind to make sense objects exist intuitively in time and space and thus be grasped by mind. And third one is mental capacity provides the ability to conceptualize, also called categories, grasps these things, objects that exist in space and time, and describe them as phenomena. Fourth, the objects of sensation are themselves called things in itself or things in us, and what they are we do not know because they are not in phenomena and cannot be described by any mental conception. And the fifth one is the time and space are subjective and part of the mental capacity that makes feeling possible. Time and space are necessary in the process of our cognition of external things, just like when we look at the world with blue glasses and everything that appears is blue. And time and space are what makes us see that everything must exist in space and time. And Kant's rejection of skepticism is like he rejects skepticism with the theory of knowledge. So first, in mind as the subject of knowledge is conscious, but the object of knowledge in conscious is not conscious. But the object of knowledge in consciousness is not conscious. How to make the content of consciousness and the content of external things into constant, that is causally connected, then skepticism can be rejected. In this way, we can say that there is a causal relationship between things in mind and the external world, rather than the result of pure whimsy. The second one is content presented in consciousness is different from the object of thinking. The object of thinking will change, but the content presented in consciousness is a whole integrity. Third, the integrity of consciousness. There is to describe that all thoughts and feelings in the mind are entangled in a whole called consciousness. Kant claims that this is equal to the integrity of individual consciousness, which can be explained by the mind's ability to aggregate. Fourth, thoughts and feelings cannot be a given in experience. Personal thoughts and impressions may be only rough facts in consciousness, but their integrity must depend on the ability to integrate in the mind. The concepts that demonstrate this ability to integrate, known as categories, are the rules for thoughts and impressions. So the fifth one, category rules are inborn and cannot be changed. This is rejection of skeptics, and the categories include entity, causality, integrity, possibility, necessity, and reality, and etc. And Kant's solution is like Kant's solution can be summed up into 2 points. First, I do not possess consciousness entirely subjectively. I also synthesis thoughts and feelings, and this synthesis makes objective judgment possible. Second, my knowledge must be only that which presented to me and from the world. And Kant has a better answers the question of how do we know what we know than Descartes and Hume, is because he answered how math and natural science works, and also he solved the problem of traditional metaphysics. So he is better, more successfully than Descartes and Hume's. Thank you.